All right, let's kick off another deep dive. Today, we're looking at React v19.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, right? This is a big one, especially for folks building web apps with React.
Big time.
We're going to dig into the official blog post,
The announcement,
It's
yeah.
like the one that dropped with the release.
Yep.
See if we can pull out all the juicy bits for you.
Awesome.
So you don't have to go through the whole thing yourself.
Love it. Makes it easy for everyone.
Exactly. Now, I've got to say,
Yeah.
what stood out to me right away,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't just about throwing in flashy new features.
Interesting. Yeah, I see that too, actually.
React v19 feels more like, well,
Like they're maturing what's already there.
yes, refining it. you know?
Exactly. It's like they said, okay, we've got these great tools.
Now let's polish them up.
Make them even better.
And it shows, right? Like, boom.
React v19 is stable from day one.
No more release candidate waiting game.
No. Straight to prime time.
Which is huge for devs who were holding back.
Huge. They can jump right in now.
Totally. Okay, so big picture. What are the headlines? What really grabbed you?
Oh, man, where do I even begin?
All right, give me one. The biggest first.
Okay. I'd say it's actions. Potentially game-changing.
Actions, huh? Tell me more.
So before React v19,
Yeah.
handling data updates, all those states, errors,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
There's a lot of manual code, complex stuff.
Nightmare. So many states to juggle.
Right. But actions in React v19, they simplify all that.
Like how? Give me an example.
Imagine a button that fetches data when you click it.
Okay, classic scenario.
In the past, you'd track pending state, success, failure, all manually.
Oh, yeah. Update the UI based on each one. So tedious.
Exactly. But with actions, React does it all for you.
Whoa, hold on. It just handles it.
Pretty much. You define the actions. It's like an async function.
So one that actually fetches the data.
Yep. React takes over from there. Pending state, errors, boom.
Mind blown. So is that why they're called actions? Like, do they take action?
Haha. Yeah, I think so. The name makes sense, right? Makes the code more readable.
And it's not just actions, right? There are those new hooks.
Oh, right. Those make actions even easier to use.
Like little helpers, yeah.
Exactly. Like useActionState, that one's for success or error results.
Makes sense. Any others?
UseFormStatus is cool. Helps design components access form info.
Without all the messy prop drilling.
You got it. And for those instant feedback UI things.
Oh, you know I love those.
We've got useOptimistic, slick stuff.
So React v19 is seriously streamlining data work for developers.
For sure. It's like they took all the pain points and said, nope.
We're fixing this.
Exactly.
And it's not just data stuff, right? They tackled forms too, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Forms got a major upgrade in React DOM.
Like what? What'd they do?
Okay, so the form element, it's got new superpowers now.
Superpower is interesting. I'm all ears.
You can pass functions straight to the action and form action props.
Oh.
To automate form submissions using those actions we talked about.
Oh, that's slick. No more messing around with manual submissions.
Nope, much smoother now. Plus, uncontrolled components.
Right.
They reset automatically after successful submission.
So you don't have to do it yourself every time.
Exactly. But, you still have manual control if you need it.
Okay, so they're not taking away choices, just making the common case easier.
That's it. They added this new request form reset API for that.
Oh, cool. So more flexibility, less boilerplate code.
That's the React v19 way.
Now I gotta ask about suspense.
Suspense. That got some love, too.
Can you remind me, what is suspense again? My brain's a bit fuzzy.
No worries. It's all about those loading states.
You know, when you have to wait for data and see that spinner forever?
The worst.
Right. Suspense lets you control what the user sees while waiting.
Like, hey, show this placeholder instead of a blank screen.
Got it. Now, what did they change in React v19?
Big one is the use API. It lets you read resources, like promises.
They're with placeholders.
The data that'll arrive later.
Right.
You can read them right in your render code now.
Interesting. So how does that work with suspense?
They work together beautifully. React sees you're using use with a promise.
Yeah.
If the data's not there yet, it pauses rendering, shows your fallback content.
Oh, I see. So it's like, hold on, let me check if the data's here.
Nope, not yet. Showing the loading message instead.
That's super smart.
Huh?
But there's got to be a catch, right?
You know it. Small one, though.
Okay, what is it?
Right now, use doesn't fully work with promises created right in the render function.
Ah, so there's a limitation there.
Yeah, for now. You'll need a suspense-compatible library for those.
Gotcha. But overall, suspense is even more powerful and flexible in v19.
Absolutely. It's a big step forward for handling those async operations.
All right, so we've got actions, form improvements, and suspense updates.
That's a lot already.
I know there's more. What else did the React team have up their sleeve?
Buckle up! React v19 is full of surprises.
I can't wait. Let's dive in.
Let's go.
All right, so we were in the middle of all the React v19 goodness.
Oh yeah, there's still so much to unpack.
Right before the break, we were talking about
Those React server components.
RSCs, as the cool kids call them.
Which, big news, they're officially stable now.
No more experimental tag, right?
Nope, they're ready for prime time.
I think this is a big moment for RSCs, you know?
Definitely. It's when they become real for a lot of people.
Like, libraries and frameworks can actually target React v19 now.
And know things will keep working as React evolves.
Stability is key, especially with something as big as RSCs.
Oh, absolutely. When they were first announced, everyone was hyped about the performance potential.
Doing more work on the server.
Exactly. It's always been a thing, server-side rendering.
For better initial load times, SEO, all that.
But RSCs, they take it up a notch.
It's not just about pre-rendering HTML anymore.
Nope, you can actually run parts of your React components on the server.
Whoa, hold on. Run them on a server.
Yep. It opens up a whole world of possibilities.
So it's like having the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
You get the interactivity of client-side React.
But with the performance and SEO benefits of the server.
Sounds amazing.
It is. You can fetch data on the server, pre-render complex UI.
Even do calculations before sending anything to the browser.
You got it. Makes your app feel super snappy.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
But I remember the blog post mentioned something about the underlying APIs not being quite finalized yet.
That's right. The APIs that frameworks and bundlers use for RSCs,
they're still evolving.
yeah, still a work in progress.
So if I'm building something that needs to work with RSCs.
You got to be aware things might change under the hood.
Gotcha. So the core concept is stable, but the tooling is catching up.
Exactly. Framework authors, they can either pin to a specific React version.
Or use the canary release if they want the bleeding edge.
That's the way to do it. Now, about those server actions.
Yes. Server actions. Tell me more about those.
Well, you know how we were saying client-side components can trigger server functions?
Right, that blew my mind a little.
Haha. It is pretty wild. So, picture this. You've got a button in your app.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
When the user clicks it, you need to do something on the server.
Like saving data to a database or something.
Exactly. With server actions, you write an async function on the server.
The one that actually does the database saving.
Yep. And you mark it with this special useServer directive.
That tells React, hey, this is a server-side function.
You got it. And on the client side, React's like,
I got this.
it creates a reference to that server function for you.
So when the user clicks the button,
The client component calls the function. React handles the communication.
it's like seamless magic. Click a button, code runs on the server.
Pretty slick, right? React sends the request, gets the result, all behind the scenes.
No more manual AJX requests and all that headache.
Nope. This is way more streamlined.
And more flexible too, right? The blog post mentions something about that.
Oh yeah, server actions, they can live in two places.
Okay, where?
Either right inside your server components,
Embedded, so to speak.
or you can import them into client-side components.
So I can choose whether to keep the server logic separate.
Exactly. It's all about giving you choices.
I like choices. Okay, so we've covered RSCs and server actions. That's a lot.
We're just getting started.
There's got to be more, right?
Yeah.
What other goodies are hidden in React v19?
Oh, so many. They really went all out with this release.
Give me the highlights reel, the ones that made you go, wow.
Okay, so one that I really love.
Yeah.
You can use ref directly as a prop in function components now.
Wait, really? No more wrapping everything in forward ref?
Nope. It's gone. Code's so much cleaner now.
That's a win for sure. Cleaner code is happy code.
Amen to that. And remember those hydration errors we were complaining about?
Oh, how could I forget? Debugging those was a nightmare.
Well, good news. They've improved the error diffs, way more helpful now.
So debugging won't be such a pain anymore.
It'll still be debugging, but at least the error messages make sense.
Okay, I'll take it. Tell me more about these improved diffs.
So before, if there was a mismatch between server and client rendering,
Yeah, during hydration.
you'd get a bunch of vague error messages, impossible to pinpoint the problem.
Ugh, I've been there. Like solving a puzzle with missing pieces.
Exactly. But now you get a single, clear error message.
That actually tells you what's different.
Yep. It highlights the exact difference between what the server rendered.
And what the client's trying to render.
You got it. It's like a laser pointer guiding you right to the issue.
Okay, that's a game changer for sure. No more guessing games.
And there are even more error handling improvements.
Oh, tell me more.
They added new root options for caught and uncaught errors.
Root options. Refresh my memory. What are those again?
Basically settings you configure when you set up your React app.
They control how React behaves in different situations.
Like error handling, network errors, stuff like that.
Okay, so what are these new error options?
Well, you have on-caught error for errors that are caught by error boundaries.
Error boundaries, those components that gracefully handle errors.
Yep. They prevent the whole app from crashing if something goes wrong.
So on-caught error lets you do something specific when an error boundary catches an error.
Exactly. And then you have uncaught error.
For the ones that slip through the cracks.
The ones that might crash your app. The ones you really need to know about.
Gotcha. So I can set up different handlers for different error scenarios.
Exactly. More control, more flexibility.
I like it. What about that unrecoverable error option? That's still there, right?
Yep, that's for errors React can recover from on its own.
Like network issues that might resolve themselves if you retry.
Precisely. You can track those and maybe give the user some feedback.
Okay, so we've got a whole arsenal of error handling tools now.
We're well equipped. And that's not all.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. Another big win, especially if you've ever wrestled with third-party scripts.
Oh, tell me about it. Integrating those can be such a pain.
Right. You try to add a cool library or widget, and suddenly everything breaks.
It's like they have a mind of their own.
Before React v19, those external scripts could mess with hydration.
Leading to those dreaded mismatches and errors.
Yep. But now, React's gotten smarter about handling them.
So it plays nice with the other kids now.
It does. It's better at recognizing those unexpected tags in your HTML.
During hydration, right?
Yep. It reduces conflicts and makes integration much smoother.
Hallelujah. Less time fighting compatibility, more time building cool stuff.
Exactly. And speaking of playing nice, what about custom elements?
Those were a bit of a pain point in the past, weren't they?
They were, but in React v19, they get full support.
No more workarounds or hacks?
Nope. They passed all the tests in that custom elements everywhere suite.
Full of compliance. That's fantastic.
It is. Shows React's commitment to web standards.
I love that they're not trying to be an island, you know?
Yeah, React's part of a bigger ecosystem. Got to work well with others.
Exactly. Okay, hit me with some more quick wins. I'm feeling good about this.
All right, rapid fire round. Context handling is simpler now. You can render context directly as a provider. No more context provider.
Oh, that's nice. Cleaner, less typing.
Yep. And they added a new way to define cleanup functions for refs.
Refs. Those things that let you directly interact with DOM elements.
Right. Now, when a component unmounts, React calls the ref cleanup function.
So you can clean up resources, prevent memory leaks, all that good stuff.
You got it. It's like automatic tidying up.
I love it. Okay, before we move on, I got to ask about one more thing.
Shoot.
Document metadata and style sheets.
Ah, yes. Those got a major upgrade, too.
Because before, managing those in React was kind of a pain.
It was. Third-party libraries, workarounds, it was a mess.
Especially if you cared about SEO or loading styles in the right order.
Right. But now you can just render those metadata tags right in your components.
Title, link, all that jazz.
Yep. React handles the rest. Put them where they need to be.
Whether you're server rendering or doing client-side stuff?
Exactly. And no more juggling, no more headaches.
My brain is already thanking the React team for this one.
Mine too. And style sheets. Same deal. You've got the precedence prop now.
On link and style tags, right?
You know it. So you can control the loading order, prevent those CSS conflicts.
It's like having a built-in style manager, keeping everything in check.
That's a great way to put it. All right, let's recap. RSCs, server actions.
Better error handling, third-party integration, metadata, style sheets, and more.
That's a lot to take in.
React v19 is a beast, but I think the takeaway
It's not just about new features.
It's about refining the whole React experience.
Making it more powerful, more flexible, more enjoyable.
And based on what we've seen so far, they've nailed it.
Absolutely. Oh, and don't forget, we haven't even talked about performance.
Oh, right. Performance is always a hot topic.
What did they do to make our apps even faster? Well, RSCs and server actions already help a lot, but there's more.
Like what? Give me the speed round.
They improved how React handles asynchronous scripts.
Those things that load in the background and can sometimes slow things down.
Yep. Now they're better controlled, less redundant downloads.
So pages load faster, that's always good. What else?
One of the coolest additions is resource preloading.
Resource preloading. Tell me more.
It's like giving the browser a heads up about what it'll need later.
So it can start loading stuff before it's actually needed.
Exactly. It's like having a personal shopper for your web page.
I know you'll want this image in a minute, so I'm grabbing it now.
Haha, perfect analogy. So you've got prefetch DNS to pre-resolve domains.
Pre-connect to establish early connections.
Preload to fetch critical resources.
And pre-init to pre-initialize things that might be needed soon.
It's a performance tuning paradise.
I love it. So much control, so much potential for making our apps lightning fast.
That's what we want. All right, I think we've covered just about everything.
This blog post is epic. RSCs, server actions, performance, dev experience, it's all here.
React v19 is a game changer. I'm pumped about all these new possibilities.
Me too. This is just the beginning. I can feel it.
We'll be talking about React v19 for a long time to come.
And I can't wait to see what amazing things people build with it.
Me neither.
Speaking of amazing things, I'm kind of thinking big picture now.
Oh, I love big picture thinking. What's on your mind?
All these innovations, the direction React is taking, it feels like a shift is happening.
A shift? In what way?
In how we build web apps. Like we're moving beyond the old front-end, back-end divide.
Interesting. Like towards full-stack React where client and server blend together?
That's it. And with RSCs and server actions, that blending is becoming so much smoother.
It's not about forcing things. It's about creating a natural flow
of data and logic across the entire stack.
Exactly. It's exciting to see.
And I think it's important to highlight that.
What do you mean?
React v19, it's not just about random new features.
It's about thoughtfully evolving the architecture to meet modern needs.
Exactly. And I think they've done a phenomenal job with that.
I agree. I can't wait to see where this journey takes us.
Me neither. But before we get too lost in the future,
we should probably wrap up this deep dive.
What are your final thoughts for our listeners? I think what really stands out is how much they focus on, like, us,
The developers. Yeah, totally.
It feels like every change, big or small, it's about making our lives easier.
It's true. Like they were listening to all our complaints and said, okay, we hear you.
We're going to fix this. I mean, remember those hydration errors?
Ugh, don't even get me started. Hours wasted on those.
And all that boilerplate code for data fetching, gone.
Seriously. React v19 is like a breath of fresh air. Better error reporting.
Those actions, the simpler context API, it all adds up.
It's like they removed all the roadblocks so we can just build awesome stuff.
That's it. Less frustration, more focus on what matters,
I love that. It shows they really care about the developer experience.
And it's not just about making things easy, right? It's about power, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like with server components and server actions.
That's not just an afterthought. It's a whole new way of thinking about architecture.
Client and server working together seamlessly.
And the performance gains are insane. We can build apps that feel so fast now.
Even on slower connections or older devices, it's amazing.
And we don't have to sacrifice anything,
All the things we love about React are still there.
The declarative style, the components, the ecosystem.
It's like they took everything good and made it even better.
So for our listener who might be feeling a bit overwhelmed right now,
all this new stuff, it can be a lot.
What's the one key takeaway you'd give them?
I'd say, don't panic. React v19 is an evolution, not a revolution.
It's building on what we already know, introducing new ideas in a familiar way.
So don't be intimidated. Take your time, explore, see how it fits into your work.
And remember, we've only scratched the surface here. The blog post is packed with details.
Code, examples, explanations, it's all there. Go check it out.
We'll put the link in the show notes, of course.
You'll learn so much more digging into it yourself.
So go forth, dear listener. Embrace the power of React v19.
And as you do, think about this.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
How might all this inspire you to rethink how you build web apps?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's a challenge to all of us to push the boundaries.
To create amazing, engaging experiences for our users.
That's what it's all about. Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end
of our React v19 deep dive.
It's been a blast exploring this.
Always a pleasure. Until next time, keep learning, keep building.
And keep pushing the limits of what's possible with React.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And to our awesome listener, thank you for joining us.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See ya.